Hey y'all, welcome back to Southern Country Life. We got an exciting evening on the homestead. I was using the tractor to work on the hay baler. It's working on a knotter issue that we're having, and couldn't get that resolved, so I was going to move it. And while moving it, I hit some bumps in the ground because it's bumpy ground. Well, apparently, I thought I ran out of fuel in the tractor, but apparently I picked up some trash. So I drug it around the whole block last night trying to get it back started, and no luck. So this evening I'm taking it down, taking all the lines out. Some of the stuff I've already found a bunch of trash in the lines and stuff, so I'm gonna purge the whole system, and then try to get it primed again and started. So that should be a lot of fun. So thank y'all for joining us. Let's get started. So right now we've already drained a whole can full and probably getting close to half of another out. The settling bowl it's right here. It was, you can see it was so full of just sludge and probably a little bit of water, and I don't know what all else was in there. But I took it off, drained it, cleaned it out, and opened this valve, the little valve here, and nothing comes out. So I then proceed to take this little guy apart, this fitting, and fuel just pours out freely. So somewhere between here and the little settling bowl is clogged up. And then on the other side, we have a valve. This is the valve I've been using to shut off fuel to the injector pump. It's been leaking like a sieve all around this where this comes out. It's loose, and it leaks like a sieve. Even when it's turned off, this fuel just pours out onto the ground. So while I've got it down, I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I've got a new valve already and some new fuel line. I'm going to replace all that down to the injector pump, and see if we can't fix a couple of issues at once. So although this is the valve I've got, so of course it's not got all the adapter fittings, because I was thinking I could unscrew this just out of here, because this is quarter. That looks like it's probably 3/8. So I'll probably have to go and get more parts before this is all said and done, but that's how I roll. I'm not a mechanic, so. Loosen that, drop it a little bit. There's all kind of buildup in here. So the valve I thought was bad. I think this little nut was just loose. I took it out, checked everything looks good, tighten it back up, and this is a lot tighter now. It's seems to be a lot less play, so we're gonna try it. I was under the understanding that this was the main fuel valve coming out of the bottom of the fuel tank, but with that probe going that high up into the tank, that's not what that's for. I'm guessing that must be some kind of return. So, which would explain why I thought I was turning my fuel off and it still was getting down into my oil. So I think from now on I might be able to use this shut off here at the top of the settling bowl, because that comes out up and into the bottom of the tank, out of the bottom of the tank, straight down into the bowl. So I think from now on, if I use this to shut my fuel off, I might be okay from now on. Something I'm gonna definitely have to give it a try. I'm definitely not a mechanic, and I'm kind of learning this, winging it as I go. I have done very little with tractors in my lifetime. My dad had a smaller Yanmar tractor that would sometimes get water in the fuel and such, and we'd have to bleed the injectors out while it was running. We'd crack them and loosen the nut and allow the air and water to bleed out, and then tighten them back up, and it ran great. So that's pretty much the extent of my experience. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and change this fuel line out so it's good to go, and clean everything up while I'm going back with it, and see if I can flush flush the tank while I've got it all apart. And hopefully we can get this bad boy back running again, because I've got a hayfield that needs cut last week. So I'm having to keep everything covered because we've been on the edge of this Hurricane Sally for 3 days, 4 days, I don't even know how long at this point, and it's just off and on rain, drizzle. Sometimes it gets heavy, but most of the time it's just a drizzle. We needed the rain, but it's kind of getting wet. I ended up, I don't know if you can see back over here, we got my truck stuck last night pulling a tractor. More part of the fun that we've been having, trying to get all this stuff worked on and working right, and so we can cut our field. But such is farm life. Man, it won't even hardly go through that jump.
It's coming out. Something's coming out the other end.
Wish. Well, that stuff is stopped up in there. There we go. Still a lot of junk in there. I can feel it. Goof off. We're gonna try it. Stuff works pretty good at breaking down glue and stuff. Oh yeah. Look at that sludge. Ugh. Awesome. Let's try some more of that. Ooh, look at that. That stuff's working good. I can already tell a difference. Still sticky down in there, but what? Look at that. That's much better. I can actually spin it in there now. All right, so let's run a little bit in there again from this way, and then we'll try blowing it out with the air compressor. Let me get my rag. Let Christian do that. Don't blow it until I tell you, okay? Okay, just try it. Bump it again. Bump it again. Bump it again. Bump it again. All right. Yeah, we'll do it one more time just to make sure, but it seemed to be blowing out pretty good.
So there's no junk in there.
Let that sit in there a few minutes. Weed eater stream seems to be working pretty good, but getting down in there, that was Christian's idea. Oh yeah, look at that, that's much better. It's breaking it down though.
Yeah.
We're free. This stuff is awesome. Goof off. I ran that in there, let it sit for a minute. I did it probably what, 5 or 6 times. Kept blowing it out. It was so gunky. It was like a paste through this whole tube. And where did that go? Oh, it was. I mean, I couldn't get a wire through there at all. I was able to finally get this little guy through there, this weed eater string, and kept dumping that in there, blow it out with a compressor, dump it in there, let it sit for a minute, blow it out, and now it's free. So, and that was effortless. It was amazing. So, we are out of daylight for today, so we're gonna call it a day, and we'll start back up tomorrow night's church. So probably Thursday night, I'll hopefully get this all put back together. So we'll make a video then. But for now, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you don't mind, and subscribe to our channel. And we'll see you on the next video.